And welcome to this edition of the Biker Angle. This is a co-segment with Motorcycle Madhouse because we're going to be talking about ABATE, and I want to make sure we get that on a segment of the Madhouse. Also, later this week, you will also be hearing from UABA. We had Joe and John on, and what an interview that was. So you're going to want to catch that on Motorcycle Madhouse. But let's talk about ABATE before we get into all the other categories like News of the Day, Legends. We got David Mann coming up, and we also got the Ask Hollywood questions. And ABATE, what an important organization. If you're not a part of it and you ride a motorcycle, my question is, why? Why you not a part of it? ABATE, which stands for American Bikers Aim Towards Education. It is something that is one of the best biker rights organizations that's been around since '72, since Lou Kimsey of Easy Rider magazine started it up. And they're the ones out there that have been fighting for rights at the state level, stuff like helmet laws, pipes, and all kinds of stuff. Basically, the things AMA hasn't been doing for us. But a lot of people ask questions, and this happens to go on to the club members type of deal. A lot of people say, how do I meet a club member? Well, yeah, there's bars and stuff like that, or events, parties if you get an invite. But ABATE is one hell of a place to meet the club members because they too are involved with ABATE because it helps them as well as regular independents, civilians, etc., regular motorcycle enthusiasts. So I wanted to get that right out of the way because I do get that question a lot. I'm going to take a little bit about ABATE off of their, some of their websites out there. That way I get it straight, what they're about, what they're not about, and how you learn to go about being a member of one. Again, if you're not, you're going to want to, because this organization is one of the only that out there represent everybody's rights when it comes to motorcycle issues in the legislative branch. Again, in '72, Lou from Easy Riders magazine started ABATE. He and others saw the need for bikers to organize the fight against federal and state restrictions on motorcycling. Some 35 years later, most states have a state motorcyclist rights organization, SMRO, either called ABATE or some other name. October of '77, Lou and Easy Riders were relinquishing the organization to people attending the meeting in Sacramento. In '86, many ABATE organizations met at what became the Meeting of the Minds conference. The conference began the process of SMROs working together and eventually led to the founding of the Motorcycle Riders Foundation, which is considered a motorcycle rights organization based in Washington, D.C. This group of SMROs acted to eliminate federal helmet laws. You know, we still got a lot of states out there with them, but it's because of ABATE. And Illinois, we don't have to wear them. Wisconsin, you don't have to wear them. The other states around us, yeah, you do. But it's because of ABATE and their work down in Springfield and in Madison that really got the helmet law shit eliminated. This group of SMROs acted to work in conjunction with senators and state reps and all the good crap with the politicians to get our agenda out there. Basically, they're the lobbyists for the motorcycle industry. Let's see here. It goes on to say make sure motorcycles are part of the transportation planning and ensure that motorcycles are allowed on all public roads. MRF is an organization set up in Washington, D.C. to watch over motorcycle legislation and to take action when the federal government has an agenda that would not be motorcycle friendly. SMROs, including ABATE, work with the MRF, and most have a state officer involved in the MRF. ABATE organization use the MRF to share state information and get more information on federal level as well as information from other states. Most SMRO and ABATE groups work with other MRO groups besides the MRF, such as American Motorcycle Association. Many ABATE chapters have websites and most often list other groups they are involved with, work with, from national MRO groups, insurance programs, lawyers, and rider training or safety and education programs. So it's a big web where they are working with all kinds of other organizations on behalf of your rights. ABATE was formed in response to keep motorcycle choppers with extended front ends that were deemed unsafe on the road. But now SMROs deal with a large variety of motorcycling related issues: motorcycle safety training, health insurance issues, and road engineering with respect to motorcycles are all areas dealt with by ABATE organizations. Many state riders training programs are either run by or administered by ABATE organizations. ABATE of Arizona, for example, runs Motorcycle Awareness Program, or MAP. ABATE groups are involved in charity events like toy runs, food drives, first responder EMT training, but ABATE is still a political organization exerting political clout through the activities of member motorcyclists. ABATE chapters exist in almost all the states. ABATE is not a motorcycle club, and that's real important to put out there. It's a biker rights organization, nor is it a Harley's riders only organization. Basically, anybody with a motorcycle, you can be a part of the ABATE. The Motorcycle Awareness Program, also called MAP, is the Shared Road Program, is an American creation of the combined efforts of various state motorcyclist rights organizations. The program is geared toward teaching the driving public to maintain a greater awareness of motorcyclists with whom they share the road. And one example of how the legislative and how a lot of politicians really reach out to ABATE is one like in our home state of Illinois. Governor Rauner actually got ABATE Illinois' endorsement in August, but because he went and endorsed something that was not cool, that affected motorcyclists, they just pulled their endorsement of Rauner. So, he's over there crying because there's a lot of bikers and a lot of bikers vote. And it's really important for us to get out and vote this midterm. It don't matter what party, don't matter what, Democrat, Republican. Myself, I'm an independent. I think for myself. I don't need parties telling me what to do. So just get out there and vote. But as far as ABATE is concerned, get out there, join it, man. And hell, they do have some of the best freaking parties and runs around. Let me tell you, them boys can party, man. So get out there, get involved, get joining. That is the best way to get out there and meet people, because a lot of people, when they first get into the scene, are like, well, fuck, I don't know anybody, I'm riding by myself. ABATE is the perfect place to meet people. So, again, get out, get involved. So, next, we got a real special segment. I really, this was a real cool thing about breast cancer and what this, she actually has breast cancer, living through it. And China Doll is a new contributor with Biker Angle and Motorcycle Madhouse. And she's going to read the story, and hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think.
Hi everyone, this is China Doll, and this is Someone You Should Know segment of the Biker Angle. Biker businesswoman clutches life in breast cancer fight. The first few steps into clutches are like those to any other mechanic shop. There is a smell of gas and rubber. The floors are smooth, gray concrete. Motorcycles and ATVs sprawl across the floor, waiting for someone to attend to their tires, engines, and frames. There is a fridge with Red Bull and beer for sale for customers who hang around while their bikes are being fixed. Accessories and merchandise hang from the walls. The pink shirt is the first hint that Clutches is different than any other bike shop. It reads Biking for Cancer and has a silhouette of a woman riding a motorcycle. Another hangs beside it with pink awareness ribbon on it. The owner introduces herself pieces come together. Melissa Alejandro wears a baseball cap over short, newly grown hair. Her chest is flat. On March 13th, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She is in the midst of the battle for her life. Melissa is the owner of 2 Statesville-based businesses in male-dominated fields, the Clutches Motorcycle Shop and Melco, a construction company specializing in fire caulking. She started with her fire caulking in the 90s. She was looking for a job to support herself and her sister after their mother died of colon cancer. In the newspaper, she saw an ad for a job that paid $9 an hour. Putting on her best clothes, she said she wants to interview for the position. I was next to these 2 men who looked like they just got off a job site, and I was like, I'm not going to get this, Melissa said. She was called back. Her employer said the company had to meet gender and ethnic percentages. As a woman of color, she would help fulfill both requirements. At her first day of work, Melissa said she was a little disappointed. Instead of working with wires, she was put on fire caulking detail. I was like, wait a minute, they're paying me $9 an hour? Melissa said. I made them really nice and pretty, the fire caulking. The inspectors were like, who did this really nice work? I've never seen this. The inspector told Melissa that people paid for the quality of work she's been putting forth. That gave her the idea to create Melco in 1999. Lightning strikes. Melissa said she was working at sites while pregnant with her 2 sons. Business prospered. Melissa bought the building on Water Tank Road in Statesville, where her businesses are still located. After a while, she wondered why she just didn't start a bike shop in the building too. 12 years ago, I had a friend of mine whose name is Lightning, and we had an idea of having a motorcycle shop back in the day, she said. I took off and went to Africa on a hunt. And when I left that day, he died of a stroke. When one mistaken man looking for an oil change had come, the same motorcycle Melissa had, she said she decided to make her and Lightning's dream a reality. Clutches has been in business for almost 2 years now. The reason I called it Clutches is my mentor, Lightning, that's all he ever made me do. I felt like the Karate Kid, she said. He says until you realize that all bikes have clutches, no matter what they are, you start from there. That's the heart of the motorcycle. Without it, they don't run. Melissa was running 2 businesses, and both found success. And then she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She kept running both businesses while starting treatment. In Clutches, she found empowerment. When I lost my hair through chemo, it was really hard, she said. One day, I was like, you know what? I'll take some photos of myself, and started outside with my camera on my phone. On Facebook, Melissa posted pictures of herself posing with a motorcycle without hair. She said she was really happy with how the photos turned out and offered to take shots of other women battling breast cancer. She's done 1 shoot and has other lines up in the next month. Cancer wants you to be ashamed and wants you to be afraid. It wants you to hide, Melissa said. I'm not going to allow it to do that in my life. I'm not going to allow it to make me feel like this. Okay, I'm gonna die. And if it's gonna happen, my faith has taken me to where I'm ready. The bright side. Melissa listed positives of a terrible situation. After her mastectomy, she doesn't have to wear a bra. She didn't have to shave her legs for months. And now her hair is growing again. It's thicker and curlier, so she doesn't have to worry about a perm. For her, focusing on what is good in her experience is just another victory. She decided to start hosting events in the building her businesses are housed in. Half of the building is dedicated to event space where she helps raise money for breast cancer, veterans, and other causes. Also working on starting a foundation to help women battling cancer pay their bills. Melissa also wants to make people aware of many existing foundations people can go to get monetary help. She will go through another round of chemotherapy in November, still being in charge of her businesses, raising her sons, and doing what she can to help others battle cancer. I've been very blessed. God's brought me work and got me through this, she said. I ain't got time to lay down and lay around. When I leave this world, I can rest then.
That was a hell of a story right there, Melissa. You keep on kicking ass, and we're all behind you. And this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you're out there, know anybody that needs some help, give them a shout out to Insane Throttle, and we'll try to get the word out there. Next, legends in the motorcycle club scene. Well, actually, not the club scene, but legends in the motorcycle scene. My fault. Uh, Somebody coming up right now that every damn biker should know. If you don't, you live on the planet Mars. And that is David Mann.
I came to California in 1959 after I got out of high school, and that tells how old I am. First time I'd ever seen a chopped Harley-Davidson was out here. And coming from Kansas City, they didn't have anything like that back there. Everybody's riding Triumphs and BSAs and so on. And I saw these people with earrings and long hair, and we'd see just packs of bikes coming down to PCH at night. And all you see was just chrome sparkling and the glitter and all the people and the noise, and it was like just a huge parade having a weekend run. So it just always fascinated me, and I started doing little sketches and paintings. I had the first Harley-Davidson that was chopped in Kansas City. I put my bike in a show, and I met these guys from Iowa that came down, and they had a chopped Harley, and it put mine to shame. But in the meantime, I had a painting that I did, the scene of all the bikes going up the hill with Hollywood and all the lights in the background. And I had that painting set by my bike. Well, Tiny from Sioux City saw the painting, and he took some pictures of it, and he sent the pictures to Big Daddy Roth. And Roth at that time was in the car business and building custom cars and hot rods. And he liked the painting, decided to make a poster of it. Ed Roth flew me out, and he introduced me to some people, and he took me to one of the clubs out here, one of the ranches up in San Bernardino, and scared me to death. I'd never seen so many wild people, but they were having fun. I remember seeing guys doing wheel stands around corners, riding jockey shifts, and pipes stuck, 6 feet in the air, and ape hangers where people had to stretch to reach them. They outlaw them now, but the old Flanders bars that were, 20 inches or more, 26 inches. And I heard about Easy Riders. I saw the magazine on the stand, picked up a copy, and they had an advertisement for biker artists they wanted. So I sent in a couple of slides that I've done, and they contacted me right away. And contracted me for a painting, and it took off, and I've been with them ever since.
Everybody right there, man. If you don't know who David Mann is, again, you're on another fucking planet. If it wasn't for people like David Mann, man, we wouldn't even be buying Easy Rider magazines. It's funny, a lot of the clubhouses, a lot of the garages, all that had David Mann's stuff plastered on the freaking walls. And he caught the biker life, and it wasn't even club stuff, man. He caught the lifestyle all in the pictures and everything like that. And that's what I think really that a lot of people want the club or the lifestyle to be about. Fun, parties, broads, tits, ass, grass, whatever you want to say. But yeah, David Mann really brought it to life, let me tell you. So he is a legend in the motorcycle scene. Next, we got the segment Ask Hollywood. And we got some good questions today. Let's see, who do we got here first? Jose! What's up, Saeed? Anyway, do you consider Llama or Whittle Sons pop-up clubs? No, I do not. They are actually associations. And Llama, and I'll talk about the Whittle Sons in a second, but Llama stands for Latino or Latin American Motorcycle Association, and they can party old school, let me tell you. They are actually tougher than a lot of freaking clubs out there. You know, they got their shit together. They're really good fucking people. Again, I've been to a bunch of their parties. And, well, you know, me, I like the Latino scene. I grew up on the north side in a Latino neighborhood. So a lot of the, you know, I can get to the culture and stuff like that, but they do accept whites. And I think they also accept blacks. I'm not for sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jose. But yeah, Llama's some bad motherfuckers. Let me tell you, I love them. Yeah, goddamn, especially on Cinco de Mayo. Holy shit. Anyway, Whittle Sons. Whittle Sons are actually a Mason type organization. And those are the type of organizations I really like. And something when people ask me, you know, besides the riding clubs, you might want to get involved with, because, you know, the Masons have the Widow Sons, and you even got Moose, where they got the Moose Riders, or if you're a vet with the American Legion or the BFW. What I like about those organizations is they got everything built in already. Yeah, you got your group within the group that has the motorcycle stuffs like the Widow Sons and stuff like that, but they also got other purposes that they're involved in, you know, the fraternity. And yeah, it's a hell, but you know, Widow Sons are pretty cool. Again, Moose Riders are pretty cool. You know, they got the Moose Lodge, go out there, drink for, you know, decent and shit. And they raise a lot of funds for Moose Heart, the Moose Riders do. And that's an orphanage in Moose Heart, Illinois. It's right by Batavia. And really good freaking organization. Really good organization. Gotta tell you. But yeah, those organizations are awesome, Jose. I'd recommend them to anybody. Again, Llama can party, man. Let me tell you, can they party? Anyway, let's see here. Cobra. I think I missed your live cast if you addressed my question on being hangarounds responsible for the same things as probates prospects. If club is low on prospects, probates, thanks again. It depends on what club, Cobra. I know around here, I know one of the one percenter clubs, and not the one that I'm used to, but a different one. Hangarounds do fill in for probates and prospects, but hangarounds are usually about getting to know the club and the club getting to know them. And one of the things you want to do when you're looking at a club is to make sure it's right for you and it's right for the club. Many people, they just want to jump in, get that patch. Next thing you know, they don't know what the hell they're getting into, and down the road, problems develop. So, yeah, with hangarounds, again, depends on the club and how they're structured and what they think about hangarounds and what they're supposed to do. That's a question you're going to have to ask one of the clubs how they handle it, and you'll be able to find your answer better there. Hopefully, I was able to give you somewhat of an answer to that question. But we do not have any message to the haters today. Well, you know, I do. You know, that one video came out yesterday, and I guess that one group's over there now freaking it's on it's on a purge, getting rid of everybody, trying to find out what's going on, who's sending the messages and stuff. And with that, just like I said yesterday, I really can give a shit about them. You know, the dude's out fucking bad. Fuck him. You know, he's basically a Charles fucking Falco. He's a rough and puff, but everybody knows what he is around here. And we really don't give a fuck what he has to say and who he thinks he really is, because he ain't he's a fucking nobody. Yeah, I guess that can call you call that a message to the haters and shit like that. But it is what it is. Who gives a shit? All I know is you don't go out there bashing motherfuckers who are trying to help somebody out and cause all kinds of bullshit. But anyway, hopefully you like the new setup. This week we should have everything in the studio with all the padding up and the whole new look. We're working on it. We're technological, how can we say it? Technological challenged. Hooking up these damn audio faces and all these freaking mixers. They're the newer style digitals where we had mostly analogs. that we've been working with, and these things are all kinds of fucking different. Before we needed a whole setup for the radio show. Now it's just like, okay, we only need this and this and this, and everything does the rest for us. But I really appreciate everybody buying the Biking and Brotherhood book. November 1st, we have the Iron Order, the year that changed the motorcycle scene coming out. It will be on audio, it will be on paperback, as well as Kindle. And what that book's going to be talking about is a lot of the issues that started out with Iron Order, how it's changed the club scene, what people think, and we go into detail with that book. We take a middle road of approach, try to get all the noise out of the way, and just right down the middle, freaking study it, and study it as an issue that has come up and changed the scene. But anyway, if you guys have somebody that you'd like to have featured on the biker angle, let us know. Oh, also, we're almost done with the phone line, so on the lives, you'll be able to call in and we'll put you right through, and we'll talk, we'll bullshit on air, and maybe even get some debates going. But anyway, you guys have a good Tuesday, and make sure you watch the or not watch it, you want to listen to it, Motorcycle Madhouse this week on Saturday at 1 o'clock with UABA, and it was a damn good interview, let me tell you. A couple of the guys were in some big movies and stuff like that, and they talk about bullying, cyberbullying, kids, all that good shit. But with that, I'll talk to you guys all later.